Let's get straight into this video. How's it going? Happy Saturday. This is the first time in a long while actually that I'm editing. I'm filming a video and editing it and uploading it on the same day. So if you're watching this on the day that it goes up, it's the same day for me at the moment. I used to film and edit and upload on the same day all the time back in like 2013. And it's the most stressful shit. I'm hyped to film this video though. My friend Tyler Oakley just filmed it and uploaded it to his YouTube channel, which if you haven't already seen the title and thumbnail, which I'm guessing you have, is answering questions I've always avoided answering. And I loved his video. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to go check it out. He answered the juiciest shit. There was definitely, let's just say, 2 or 3, probably 3 main questions that I know are just gonna get absolutely flooded and asked, because I do anything online and that is all I get asked. So I know that those 3 questions are gonna come up a ton and I'm gonna have to answer them. But I've no idea what other things people would be interested in knowing or thinking that I've avoided, but I haven't purposely avoided, I've just never thought about speaking about or answering. So I put on my Instagram stories one of those little question boxes and just said, ask me whatever questions you genuinely think I've avoided answering over the years. Go for it, just fully go for it, ask me whatever you want. And I put it up twice, so it was over 2 days to try and get as many people leaving them as possible. And then I've spent a ton of time this morning, it's currently 3 minutes to 2 in the afternoon for me, going through all of the questions, like literally thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands. Let's kick it off. I mean, it would only make sense, wouldn't it, to kick it off with the absolute #1 most asked question. I'm going to give you like 10 seconds now to comment it down below what you think the #1 most asked question was. It's bloody obvious. So like, I can't even explain. It was probably like 1 in every 5 questions asked in the little box was probably this question. When are you going to propose to Zoe? That's the #1. That's what everyone wanted to know. Now with this question, there isn't a straightforward answer. And surely you can't be expecting a straightforward answer. #1, imagine if there was, and I was just like, next Tuesday, that's when I'm gonna do it. It bloody ruined the surprise of proposing to Zoe. So there's never gonna be a straightforward answer, unless the answer was, it's already happened and we hadn't told you guys, which it hasn't already happened, and we would have told you. So that's not an option. The only other option is, am I at some point going to? And if so, when? We've been together 8 years. Everything's going bloody great. Everything's going better than it's ever gone before. There is no date or time for me to be popping that question, because #1, I straight up just wouldn't tell you even if there was a date or a time. I just wouldn't be doing that, and surely that makes sense for me to be saying that. And #2, I don't feel any pressure, #1 from Zoe at all, to do that. She is the most relaxed person ever. #2, I have no care, in the nicest way, about people online trying to persuade me or asking me or encouraging me to propose. That just doesn't really affect my personal life and where I'm at in life right now and what we're doing and what we're planning and what we're up to. Equally, something that I do see a lot in the comments that I'm like, yeah, people just know so bloody much about my life, is my parents were together for something like 18 years? Maybe 19 years, maybe even longer, before getting married. So growing up for me, marriage was never put as high on a pedestal. The highest thing in the relationship was being happy and loving each other. And for me, that is still the most important thing. Don't get me wrong, I definitely want to get married. I definitely want to have a bloody amazing celebratory day. I want to be wearing a marriage ring. I think I probably want to be wearing an engagement ring myself. Not like a singular diamond engagement ring, but some kind of ring. I mean, I'm wearing this on that finger at the moment, but ignore that, we're not engaged. Do you get what I mean? Does that answer the question enough? I feel like there can't be a direct answer to that question unless it had already happened. Because if it hasn't happened yet, I can't be telling you anything. But at the same time, I'm not saying that there is something planned. Alright, let's go for the next question. This only seems fitting. Would you and Zoe have a threesome with Tyler? So, in my friend Tyler's video that I said about at the beginning, he got asked the question, would he have a threesome with Zoe and I?
This one's juicy. Would you ever have a threesome with Zoe and Alfie? Oh my god. Honestly? Okay, I'm gonna get honest for a second. I think that is not necessarily with Alfie and Zoe, but I think a threesome with a couple, like a guy and a girl, would be kind of hot. I think it would be fun. I feel myself turning red. But to answer the question, Zoe and Alfie, yeah, actually, they're fun. I'm fun. We're like chill. We're like goofy, silly. That's, I think, when it's most fun, is when you're like comfortable with the people you're hooking up with. So I think Zoe and Alfie. Am I allowed to say this? Zoe and Alfie, call me.
Tyler, if you're watching. I remember a time back in the day, what was it, 2013? And we got persuaded to kiss at VidCon. As I say that, Zoe's literally stood. Do you know what I'm talking about right now? Come here. Zoe's stood there in the kitchen, just stood there lifting her top up at me. I'm literally talking in my video right now, answering, would we have a threesome with Tyler Oakley? And then I look up and you just got your boobs out.
What did you say? What was your answer?
I said no.
Oh,
No, don't say ah.
Tyler, I would.
What, you would? You genuinely would?
No. I don't think I could ever have a threesome.
Zoe says she couldn't ever have a threesome.
It's just, I don't think it's my vibe.
It's not a vibe. Tyler, I'm sure there are many other couples that would love to have you involved for a fun night.
Although, I do reckon that Tyler's got a much better, like, banging body.
Oh shit, I didn't even think about how ripped he is now.
Tyler is ripped.
Yeah, we couldn't have a threesome with Tyler because I would literally be like just some slump, like, oh, he's way too attractive now. His body is outrageous. Yeah, I didn't even think about how shredded Tyler is now. Yeah, that would be embarrassing for me. That's, fuck, didn't even think about that. Let's go for the big one. That was probably the second most asked one. If not definitely the second most asked, maybe third most asked one. Why does everyone still think you're a Tory, even though you literally said you weren't? It confuses me. This is something that I've never discussed, and I've definitely avoided answering, because, let me explain, I pissed off everybody that does vote Tory, because I said it in a positive way that I don't. So they were pissed off at me. Equally, everybody that doesn't thought that I was joking about, I was lying, and turned it into a meme that I do, and they were pissed off at me. So I was literally left, and I'm like, okay, I've pissed off this side, because they're annoyed that I've publicly and proudly said that I don't vote for them. This side have turned it into a meme that I do vote for them, and are pissed off at me. And I was literally left, and I'm like, okay, I've just pissed off both sides. So there wasn't really much I could do. There wasn't really much for me to say about it. And then still to this day, it's just a meme. There's not even any more I can say about it, because it's just a meme now. And I pissed off both sides by saying it. Why don't you hang out with old friends anymore? This is a super popular one that I got a ton in loads of different ways, naming different people. Did you fall out with this person? Did you have an argument with this person? What happened here? And I'm gonna like overarch it all into one question because they're all so similar and there were so many of them. The overarching answer is, I've not had an argument with any friends. Like, I literally can't think of somebody, not even one person, that I used to be really good friends with publicly that I now am not at all friends with. Obviously there's people that I'm not as close with, like for example Marcus, I used to be incredibly close with, and we both used to like spend so much time together, travel together, work together a ton, and now he's been in Germany literally like the entirety of this year, I think maybe even since December. And then the others, nothing's ever happened. We still chat, maybe because I don't upload as much as I used to, and they probably don't upload as much as they used to, and we don't document everything we do as intensely, that people online don't see it as much. I had quite a lot of questions being like, why don't you see Che anymore? How's Che? What's Che up to? You don't ever see him. And I was reading it, laughing to myself, because Che's just moved to Brighton like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the day he moved in, I went to his, had dinner at his new flat, and was like helping him move and unbox things. But obviously because I'm not vlogging that anymore, and I don't necessarily put that kind of thing on my Instagram stories, and I don't use Snapchat anymore, people don't see that. And therefore people may assume that we don't speak anymore, we're not friends anymore, which is far from it. Like, we literally, Jay and I probably speak most days via WhatsApp, but because I'm not putting anything online, I've never even thought about people like assuming that the friendship is no longer there. That's only just hit me now. Literally as I'm saying this now and I was reading that, that's the only time it's hit me. I didn't think about that. And I'm sure that's the same for loads of other people. Like Zoe and I were literally on FaceTime calls so many times during lockdown with like Louise and stuff, but because we don't put anything online, yeah, I don't know. No, I haven't fallen out of anyone. This is another one that I literally just wouldn't have expected if I was to have to make up the questions myself that I thought you would ask me. Is the house you guys are living in now your forever home? I got that question asked so many times and I've never even thought about that. Oh, it's hard with forever home because I'm so young, I'm 26. I just can't ever imagine moving out of this home. Put it that way. I'm not gonna say it's the forever home. I don't wanna restrict anything, but I can't ever imagine moving. When Zoe and I bought this house, what, 3, 4, 5 years ago? Maybe 4 or 5 years, 5 years ago now. We did so much work to this house before we even put it online that we were moving, because I remember the first day we ever announced it, we were like fully in. It was the day we moved in. We filmed and vlogged and uploaded that day. We had purchased the house and done work on it for so long before I can't even describe. We're so fortunate to be able to really tailor the house to what we wanted it to be like, that I can't ever imagine moving. But saying that, I'm only 26, so we never know. Maybe one day. When are you gonna have kids? That was another bloody popular one. How the hell did I forget that one? When are you gonna have kids? That was probably the second or third most popular one. This is something that I would definitely not put online if we were trying for a child, because you never know, it might happen straight away. You might be incredibly fortunate. You never know, it might take you years and years to be able to have children. Equally, it's just a super personal question that even if I had the answer to, I just wouldn't ever put online. So I guess the answer to the question, as when are you and Zoe gonna have kids, the answer is I wouldn't tell you that we were trying or planning to have kids, if that makes sense. Because I don't know, it's just too personal and it's not really something that I'd ever want to put online. I always grew up wanting 2 children, and then our neighbours, they can probably hear me now, our neighbours across a couple of gardens across, who we get on really well with, they've got 3 children. Moving here and getting to know them, and they're like a really cool like young couple. Zoe and I are like, okay, we want 3 kids. We definitely want 3 kids. Things change with the time. Literally just in the last couple of years, we've both gone from wanting 2 children to wanting 3 children. And I mean, I'm 26, nearly 27. Zoe's 30 years old. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be too far away till one day we have children. That doesn't mean we're trying right now. That doesn't mean we're gonna have kids next year. But I'm just putting it out there that this is something that Zoe and I definitely want. I saw this really cool, like, young tattooed dad, and he was so bloody cool. And I was like, oh my god, I want to be young and like trendy and a fun dad. And then I was like, shit, that guy's probably my age, and he's got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Even if I had kids now, I'm not even like a young dad. Like 27. Where the heck is the last 10 years? Where's time gone? What's happening? But just to make sure I'm answering your question, because that's the entire point of this video, and the last thing I want is to waffle and not answer any of the questions. We definitely want to have kids, but I would never ever talk about when we're planning to until we're ready to announce a pregnancy. And I'm sure you understand that. That is all of the most popular ones that I got. I thought this video was going to be like 6 minutes long, and I haven't even edited it yet, but it's going to be a bloody long one, so I'm going to leave the video here. If there are any more questions that you think that I've avoided, that you'd like me to answer in another video, maybe like a part 2, maybe I'll just answer some in another vlog or something, drop them down below in the comments. If you want to give the video a thumbs up, feel free to do that. That would be nice. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, new Future Self joggers coming out incredibly soon. These are the comfiest joggers you have ever seen in your life. I'll see you soon. Appreciate you watching.